Oh, okay. I'll give it to someone that knows a bit more.
In 2017, Cardiff University entered into the first partnership of its kind with Airbus. Who's Airbus? Airbus is one of the 15 biggest arms companies in the whole world. Airbus is someone that uses artificial intelligence, surveillance systems to murder people. Its weapons have been used not only in Palestine, in Gaza, since 2023, it's Hebron drones, as they call them, that have been used in Gaza, that they have collaborated with the Israeli aerospace industries and made those drones, and they collaborated with them and used them on Palestinians in Gaza. But Germany, who have also taken those weapons, have used their weapons in Afghanistan too. This is an arms company that does not care for the blood that it sheds as long as it gets the money rolling in. And these are the people, this is the type of company that Cardiff University collaborates with. This is the type of university, this is the type of company that say, across all of their website, you just have to search in Cardiff University and Airbus. And Cardiff University gloats that they are one of the first to have a partnership with Airbus. That they've got 5 million in funding. Only 1.5 million only in the last 2 or so years. But 5 million in funding to ensure the collaboration with Airbus continues. Using surveillance systems that Airbus have developed. Not only is it being used again in Afghanistan, in Gaza, but it's also being used in the Mediterranean to intercept refugee boats. This is the company that we are talking about. This is the company that Cardiff University proudly splashes across its website. So what are we going to do about it? I think what we've done this demonstration, it shows that despite there's not a lot of us, there's about 100 of us, it shows that this movement can still grow. People waved to us, people said they support our cause, they support the Palestinian cause. But there's a lot of work more that we need to do. We need to incorporate the welfare, not warfare movement far better. Frankly, what is the government doing? They are using the money that they are meant to be giving to those most vulnerable and disabled within our communities in our country. And they are using it to create weapons, a drive to warfare, to support the genocide in Palestine. That is exactly what they're doing. This is not only a call to those who want to stop the genocide, it's a call to those that want to stop the creation of disabled people in Palestine and in the UK. As it kills disabled people and it murders those in Palestine, it lets the most vulnerable disabled people die on our streets in this country. One of the biggest and most strongest and most wealthy economies that the UK has. And it decides to invest its money in warfare, not welfare. And our universities, the institutions we are meant to look to, that we are meant to go to for research, for curiosity, to understand the world around us. We sit in a city where there's a building that has one of the 15 biggest arms companies, that have drones that have been flying across Gaza over the heads of the Palestinians they've been murdering. It is in our city, it's right here, it's in that building. So when they say, what does it have to do with us? It has a lot to do with us. And that's why in this movement, I think we need to start thinking about how we can target those complicit. The genocide is increasing. It's unabated. I don't think there's an end in sight. So what do we do? Do we sit back and continue doing the same thing over and over? Or do we try to be the people that push this movement forward? Do we try to incorporate other people, other groups in this movement to make it bigger, to make it stronger? Remember, our target is always the British state. It's always the British state. The British state that creates the weapons and sends them to Israel and allows their airbase in Cyprus to be used by the US in Israel. That is our target, that is our power, that is why we chant from the belly of the beast, hands off the Middle East. We are those that have to etch off the hands of this government from the Middle East. It will be done by no one else but the people here in this movement. So we need to increase the amount of people at our demonstrations. We need to target those most complicit. We came here to talk about Airbus, But frankly, we should also be leafleting every single week the people in central Cardiff, talking about what is just about a mile away from them. We need to be talking to people on the streets every single week about why we're doing this, and then we need to march on these streets as much as we can, but in the biggest numbers that we can have, and with the biggest amount of support from every single group that is fighting for their rights, for human rights and for freedom, and to push those people in line with what is happening in Palestine. And I want to say one last thing. Two last things. I saw in Birmingham, the Trades Union Council have called a demonstration. Frankly, the union movement is on the side of Palestine, but there is a small layer of trade union bureaucracy that do not want that to come to fruition. That's why we need to be pushing in our trade unions. There's no reason why Wales TUC doesn't support our demonstrations. There's no reason why they don't have a banner coming on our demonstration. The union movement for a long time have said that they support the movement for a free Palestine. They need to show it. So we need to be getting in those unions, and a way to do that is supporting those in our movement that are going for those positions in those unions. So when it comes to NEU, the National Education Union, our friend Zhao is standing for the National Executive. And Zhao is the type of person that we need at the top of the unions pushing for change. Because it's people like Zhao that represent the movement, it's people like Zhao that represent what the people want, not the trade union bureaucracy who represent the cozy little deals they have with the Labour Party. So we need to support people like Zhao. So if you can, share to your story, support Zhao in the posts that have been shared in the campaign to get Zhao elected. But if you're also in the NEU, push it through your branch, post about it, talk about it, support Zhao, support Palestine, and let's kick this disgusting company off our campus, and let's kick the warmongers out of our state. Thank you.
We'll keep fighting. My campaign is not about me. It's not about me getting elected. It's about pushing for the fight for a better society, the fight to free Palestine, the fight against the far right, and the fight for a society where we put people over profit.
Yes.
And there's many ways of fighting for that. That is one. Another way is the ways that you censored and the ways that we have been showing every day. And one of those people is here with us today, one of the Cardiff students for Palestine, one of the people that have been in the movement for a long time, that have been suffering the consequences, but proudly suffering the consequences of that movement. Big round of applause for Eleanor.
Spark. The only sparks coming from that building are fire from bombs. There's nothing else. I just want to say, because I'm someone who was part of the Cardiff 19 who was recently found guilty, unfortunately.
Injustice.
It was wrong. It's wrong. It was against anything that was moral. There was lies there. The police lied. The judge was wrong. We can say all of this, but this was still justice. Do you want to know why? Because justice in this country does not mean justice for us. It does not mean justice for the working people. It does not mean justice for any normal person. It means justice for the rich. That's what it means. It means justice for the really small rich amount. And that is what this justice is. So yeah, this was justice working as intended. This was not our justice, but this was their justice. And this was the police working as intended. This was the police doing everything they were meant to do, because the police, they were built to stop protests. That is their intention. They are not there to protect you. They're there to protect the state. That is the entire point of them.
Yeah.
The government, the police, the justice systems, they're all doing it as intended. The university, I think they could be doing better, but what they're doing is also economical. That's why we need to be, and all of this comes down to Palestine, because supporting Israel is economical for the government. It is economical for this university. It's wrong, it's evil, but it's economical. And that's because Israel, sorry, we should call it the Zionist entity, because Israel is not a nation, it is not a state, it is a colony of the United States of America. And it is economical to support that, because it's a way to expand the markets. It means you can expand the markets across the entire Middle East, because it is an aircraft carrier. That is what Israel is. It is fundamentally an outpost of the British and the American military. And this will, there are places like Spain which might be a bit better, and there are many places in the world which are better. So the ruling class, they could be doing better, but you know, this is normal for them. And this is why we need to be getting rid of the entire 1%, the entire ruling class. They are the ones who are at fault for this. And also, they are the only ones profiting. It's not even the middle class, it's not even the small business owners who are profiting, it's only the rich. It's only the rich, it's only Wendy Larnham and the other executives who are profiting from this Airbus and this other rubbish. So I just want to finally say that what we're doing here is part of a global movement. We all need to remember that it's part of a global movement. From Yemen, from Palestine, from here, even in the United States, to fight against colonialism, to fight against Israel, and to win!
Great words from Eleanor. She's completely right. The only way to truly free Palestine forever is to replace a system that is based on profit, a system that is based on getting the rich people richer, and to build a system that works for us. I just want to have a tiny correction to make about Spain. As I said about the 7 of Somos Aguas, the Spanish state, the PSOE, the Socialist Party, the so-called Socialist Party, is not better than other parties. They have attacked, they have repressed everyone. It is a common natural mistake to make, because amongst the worst, they say the right things, but they are still repressing everyone. While we have the capitalist system, we will not be able to have liberation. And our last speaker today, someone that knows liberation by heart, someone that has been fighting, someone that has been born with liberation in their blood, that is fighting for Palestine, that is Palestinian, that we see every day. Here, a round of applause for Amdi.
Hello! I remember a time when our government used to fight Nazis, not fund them. I think all of us need to come to the realization that it's gonna keep getting worse, and our government is just gonna keep accelerating and doing nothing to stop the genocide. Already, when I was told at the beginning, why do you think the government should help care for its own people? Why do you care about people abroad? Well, now that's what they're doing with cutting benefits. We need to go against the state, because they're basically calling for a revolution at this point.
Yeah.
And we need to bring bodies out into the street. Now is the time. It's the deciding factor if we're going to let genocide happen on our watch. See it happen live every day, with my tax money, your tax money, with elected people in parliament basically letting it happen, and us just expected to say nothing and keep our mouths shut. We will not let that happen. Now is the time to ramp up. Now is the time to protest more than we have ever protested since the beginning. People in Gaza now realize that nothing the Americans or the Western countries will do to help stop, even France, even Germany, the US especially, just want the killing to continue. They just want to war profiteer, and that's what our country is based on. It's time to bring the genocide to an end, a time to protest non-stop. Free Palestine.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! In our lifetime!
In our lifetime!
And the genocide!
And the genocide!
Free and apartheid! This is the end of our demonstration, but it's far from the end of our struggle. We'll have many more things to come, many more more campaigns to do. We are still fighting for the Cardiff 19. We're still fighting for a free Palestine. We're still fighting with the Cardiff students for Palestine and getting involved in other struggles, because all of these struggles, they are connected. And it's a good time to say, while we are under the Cardiff University building, that one of those struggles is the struggles of university workers, of UCU staff that we know. I know that we have some of them here to fight against the privatization and against the cutting of the salaries and of the jobs in their university. Because that privatization, that profiterization is part and parcel of the system that we live in. To fight against it, to give a victory for the UCU staff, give a victory to university workers, is to give a victory for Palestine. So keep your eyes, keep your ears peeled. Any more events that I need to announce here that anyone knows? No, just keep an eye on the socials. Oh.
Yeah, I'll explain.
Okay, tomorrow at Cardiff Community Centre, Palestine Solidarity Cardiff is showing a film. It's called Shanshula. It shows the heritage of the fishing and community in Gaza, in Palestine. It should be really good. I think this should be still available. You can, if you're on Instagram, see the poster for it on ELN Cardiff. I'm going, so if you're going, I'll see you there.
I can really give thanks to everyone here, especially our comrades that have carried the banner and that faced the cars and the traffic. Finally, vote for me if you can.